All this time, practice meditation. So all of you sit comfortably. Take a comfortable seat. Be aware of this moment. Be aware of the body as it is, whatever you may feel. Heaviness or lightness, heat or cold, anything, pleasant sensations or unpleasant sensations, whatever you may feel. Just to be aware of feelings in the body. Just this body as you can feel. Whatever the sensations are, just be aware. Don't go for liking or disliking. Just be aware. This is the sensation. If it is pleasant or unpleasant, no need to like or dislike. Be aware. Just this is an unpleasant sensation. And let go. This is a pleasant sensation. Just this much. Similarly, be aware of your mind, thoughts and emotions, various feelings in the mind. Be aware of them. Know them as they are. Don't try to hold on to any of those mental feelings, thoughts, nothing. Be aware of them and let them. Let go of the feelings on this body. Let go of the feelings on the mind. Just remember. we don't hold on to the feelings on the body or on the mind, if we don't hold on like and dislike them, then our mind can be peaceful. If your mind is peaceful, then you may observe in breath and out breath for some time. When you are breathing in, be aware of the in as the breath goes inside through the nostrils. When you are breathing out, be aware of the out breath as the breath goes out through the nostrils. Just the awareness of breathing in and breathing out. It is time for Dhamma. So as when we're meditating, as we give instructions, we say, observe the feelings on the body, observe the feelings on the mind, but don't cling on to them. Don't get stuck with them. Don't like them, don't dislike them. There is a deeper value in this as well. At the preliminary level, in our day-to-day activities, we are all encountering what? We are all encountering feelings. We say we encounter people, we encounter objects, we encounter situations, but we don't encounter these things. We encounter the feelings that arises out of these situations, out of these people, out of these whatever events that happens around us. Feelings, pleasant ones, unpleasant ones, or sometimes neutral. So what we encounter is just feelings. The feelings that are coming out of various aspects of life. Experience through the body, experience through the mind. Pleasant one, unpleasant. So when there's pleasant one, we tend to go and grasp, oh, I want this. Somebody talks to us nicely, you go and grasp. Somebody talks to you badly, you go and grasp. Mind tells us, this one is good. This one is pleasant. Go and grasp. This one is not good. This is not pleasant. This is not soothing to the ear. You go and grasp. Mind goes and grasps. Then it struggles. But it wants to grasp the feeling of feeling the pleasantness or unpleasantness. Both ways, it doesn't let go. The word that is spoken to you finishes after some time. The feelings that comes out of these finishes after some time. The thought that tells us this one is good, this one is not good, ends after some time. But our struggle doesn't end. If somebody says something, we struggle for days, years, months, years, maybe sometimes throughout our lives. Somebody says something, we grasp onto it, either through liking or through disliking, and then we struggle. Things changed. Our mind tells us many things. Our mind tells us this one is true, this one must be true, this one must be good. And we believe it so easily. Whatever our mind tells us, it isn't true. Why? Because it is based on our daily perceptions. The way we look at people, the way we think about people, the way we look at things, objects around us, everything, living things, non-living things, experience, whatever we have, through this body, through this mind, based on our perceptions. And those perceptions are based on our ignorance. Not knowing, they aren't real. They aren't really what it is. Take the example. When the children are small, like saying this again, the parents, they are so attached to their children. Children are so attached to their parents. But after growing up, the same parents and the children fight. And sometimes they end up killing each other as well. Why? Because earlier perception, this is our son or daughter. And he or she is very good, or he or she loves us very much, or we love her him or her very well. And then the later one. This is all based on perceptions. Based on perceptions, because our perception tells us this is a pleasant feeling, therefore we must like it. This is an unpleasant feeling, therefore we must dislike it. This is where things go wrong. This is where people lose the track. They can't understand this one. They can't look at the other side. It's like running. It's like you go to work every day, and then you come back. And next day you go, and then you come back. But you end up being in the same place at your home. You don't go anywhere. According to the laws of physics, there's something called displacement, which says if you take this object from here to another place, then it is displaced from this place to that place. But if it comes back, the displacement is zero. So in our life, our way of dealing with our feelings through our perceptions is like this. There is zero wisdom, zero movement from where we are. Not much movement, not much progress. Because then liking, then disliking, then liking again, then disliking again. So we don't really look at it correctly. We don't really look at the solution. This conventional way of looking at the world, conventional way of looking at things, especially through liking and disliking, isn't the right way of looking. People need to contemplate this. Can I be dependent on the feelings that arise? Can I always depend on these feelings? This one people don't contemplate. This one people don't consider. They want to depend on the feelings. When it is not good, they want to fight with it, dislike it. When it is good, they want to like it and hold on. But both ways they are clinging. So there is no way they are looking into the feelings correctly as they come and as they go. So that's why at the beginning of our meditation instructions, we say, look at the feelings. Look at the feelings, but don't grasp at them. See them how they come and go. And the new one comes and goes. All feelings on this body, on this mind. Looking at this is like looking at the other side, looking at the right side. What is the other side? Other side is the side of wisdom. Disliking and disliking is the side of ignorance that we generally do, and keeps on repeating. Looking at the other side is looking at wisdom. When we don't depend on the feelings too much, too strongly, we look at them as they come and go. We observe them as they come and go. We don't believe they are always real. We don't believe anything. Which our general perception is this feeling of goodness or this feeling of pleasantness or this feeling of unpleasantness is real. That's why we grasp at it. We think it will stay with us. The pleasantness is going to stay with us. When it changes, it brings us dissatisfaction. Unpleasantness, when it changes, when it stays, we struggle. Then it changes, then we have to go to another. We are always struggling with both of them. So looking at the other side is looking rightly at the feelings. Feelings are always with us. When you are hearing these words are just words. But when you are hearing and processing in your mind, through your cognition, through your whatever level of wisdom you have, when you are processing, you have certain feelings where you are feeling at ease. Maybe some of the words that is being spoken, you understand. You understand some of the meanings. When you understand some of the meanings, it gives you a sense of ease. Or some of them you don't understand, it makes you maybe confused or not such a sense of ease. These are also feelings in the mind. They're everywhere. When you go on drive your vehicle on the road, you see people, you perceive, and then you feel, oh, good, no, not good. People maybe honking on the road, not good. Or maybe somebody allows you to go ahead. Okay, good. When you go back home, again, people say so many things. You feel, oh, this one good, this one not good. But then we get stuck. We get stuck with the pleasant. We get stuck with the unpleasant. So we don't look at the other side. Other side is be the pleasant as it is, be the unpleasant as it is. Don't depend on them so much. Don't think they are for real. Don't think they are always true, substantial. Don't think they are fully dependent. This is looking at the other side. So the whole purpose, you ask me, sometimes people say, why can't people be liberated? Why do we not see people liberated, enlightened? Because they don't look at the other side. You have to make a beginning somewhere. You have to make a beginning somewhere. But they don't really look at the other side. They don't make a beginning at all. Somewhere they must begin. Begin with what? Begin with wisdom. They are going on. People are going on with ignorance for long enough. They have to make a beginning. So they have to look at the other side of not being obsessed with the feelings, letting the feelings be as. So then we have, at least we can say we have made a beginning somewhere. So as we practice Dhamma, as we practice Sila, as we practice meditation, Bhavana, whatever we do, is always a means of looking at the other side. Looking at the side of wisdom. When people have too much greed, they can't do that. When people are addicted to their wrong habits, they cannot practice the Sila. When people are not willing to stay or put their mind at rest, they can't practice meditation. So this is looking at the side of the world, not looking at the side of the mind. So when we practice generosity and morality and meditation, this is looking at the side of the mind. What do? We put things down, not with the liking and dislike. Generally, we go with liking and disliking. But when we practice Dana, Sila, Bhavana, generosity, morality, meditation, we put things down, not with liking and disliking, but with wisdom. Put them down. We don't depend on them. We don't say they are real, they're for real, they are true, they are substantial, I can depend on them. This is the real thing. If all the liking and disliking, just think from childhood till now, just in this life, how many things we liked, how many things we disliked, big things, small things, how many situations we liked, how many situations we did not like. What are the types of feelings that we like? What are the types of feelings that we did not like? But did they really solve our problem? Did they really make our life perfect? So many times we did. And we will continue to do because we are always looking at the side of ignorance. But does it really solve the problem? So we must ask ourselves, do we solve our problem every day? When you have unhappiness, it's just there. When you have dissatisfaction, when you have a feeling of not at ease, do you ask yourself, is it for real? What is it? Can I do something? Do I looking at it? Am I looking at it correctly? We don't. This is the training of the Dhamma. Lord Buddha wanted us to train our mind like this, not to take things for real, not to take things on their face value, to analyze them, investigate them, contemplate them through wisdom. This is the real value of Dhamma. Taking the things at the face value, everybody can do. But that way, nobody solves the problem. Nobody does. I don't see anyone coming here, or I haven't met anyone anywhere else, or I haven't heard of anyone else who has said, I have followed the likings and dislikings thoroughly throughout my life, and I have found the perfect happiness. Because that doesn't happen. So that's where the practice of Dhamma is to look at the side of wisdom. Where our suffering is, we look into it. Why do we suffer? We always have dissatisfaction. Somebody says within the family, we suffer. Somebody says amongst our friends or relatives or neighbors or other people, we suffer. Somebody says in our office, in your workplace, in other places, we suffer. You don't like it. Or you like it so much that you afterwards it changes, then you also suffer. So this is where the solution should be, where the suffering is, not anywhere else. If there's a crack, say there's a crack in any of these pillars. If the crack is in one particular pillar, we go and put the plaster or something about in the other pillar, it doesn't solve the problem. It must be done in that one where the crack is. Similarly, where the suffering is, we must contemplate there. We must contemplate the feelings there. Our grasping to those feelings there. And our arising of suffering there. Then we will understand better. We have the chance of being wise. This is looking at the other side. Not looking blindly, but looking with eyes open. Open with wisdom, not with these eyes. These eyes can see, but this eyes has no wisdom. It sees daytime and nighttime and next day, daytime and nighttime. It sees all things, pleasant, unpleasant. It sees all things, but it doesn't understand. Eye doesn't have wisdom. Mind can have. But then we need to change the track. Looking at our feelings, looking at where the suffering arises, looking at where it ceases. This is the way to practice. So this much we offer to you for your contemplation and practice, and we wish may you be able to remember and recollect and put them into your practice and ultimately attain the wisdom. With this we will conclude today's discourse. Then if anyone has any questions, they may ask, or else we'll conclude. So in that case, we conclude the chanting of Sukhi bhaveya dukho aham nicham aham niya Yata me sukhi hanto macchata dachavedino imani gamma kittam ki satta huntu sukhi sada tato parancha rajyesu chakavale sujantanu sadhu. We'll meet again on next Sunday, 6 o'clock.